Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in. Welcome to Canal Days video series, your journey into the heart of the industrial Connecticut River Valley of Massachusetts. Join Robert Comu, the founder of Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke, as he takes you back in time to explore what life was like during the industrial boom in Massachusetts. From canals, reservoirs, cemeteries, and churches, he guides you through historic sites throughout the state. And Canal Days video series brings you along the stops of his tours and transports you back in time. So discover the history with Robert and join him on this video of the Roosevelt Triangle in Holyoke, Massachusetts. And be sure to check out his website at holyokecanaltour.org. And Robert, over to you.
All right, here we are off of Westfield Road, and we're in the Roosevelt Triangle. And I'm going to show you not only this triangle, but also a very special feature, a little surprise, and I always add those. And so let's go in. Okay, this is the back of a memorial rock, and it's going to be devoted to prisoners of war. So it says on it, American Prisoners of War, non solemn in memory of all prisoners of war, 1989. And then down below it says donated to Western Massachusetts chapter of XPOWs by Paul Hogan Jr. Of Holyoke, a memorial. And then it says Britton Brothers Foundry in Holyoke Alderman and Parks Department, 1989. So this whole park was dedicated at that time, but this is a much older park, and it goes back 100 and at least 40 years back, almost to the birth of Holyoke. And here's another sign, American Ex-Prisoners of War, right, with a flag. And then it has a flagpole, no flag today. It's a very cold January day, and Jimmy Carter just died last week. If they did have a flag, it would be at half-staff. All right, and Westfield Road is here, going in both directions. And Roosevelt Avenue goes off it. It's a one-way, I'm sorry, it's a dead-end street, it's not one-way. But I was talking about a little surprise from this point, and what surprise is that? Well, remember, I do the history of Holyoke in all the different facets, and so one facet is that I look into where the trolley lines were in Holyoke, and there's only one place where one of those trolley lines went, where there's now houses in place. And it's easy to find because that trolley line was the only trolley line that circuited around Holyoke. I believe there was a total of 8 trolley lines. 7 of them went out of the city into other towns and cities around the area. But one of them circled around Holyoke itself, came up Laurel Street onto a bit of Northampton Street, then onto Hitchcock, and off of Hitchcock it had to find a way over to Hillside Avenue. Well, if you know Holyoke, Hitchcock and Westfield Road are right here. I'm sorry, Hillside and Westfield Road are right here. Going that way, the trolley would go down Hillside, and it would then turn right onto Cherry and go and somewhat go back downtown. So it's making a circuit, and it had to come off of Hitchcock Street. Now Hitchcock Street nowadays have 2 homes in place here. If you had come out here anytime from the late 1880s to about 1930s or so, you would have not have seen that larger beige home in place, and the white home in back of it. You would have seen a trolley line only come through here, and the trolley line came off of Hitchcock this way, and if it was going from Hillside to Hitchcock, it would go there. So basically it was coming right down the middle of the street, and you can see a big gap between those, and that big gap is where the trolley line was going. And that larger Victorian home in the middle wasn't put in until about 1930 when they gave up on the line. There's a similar house in the back on Hitchcock where they built that about 1930 because they didn't need the circuit route anymore, the Elmwood Circuit. All right, and you can see that large house in back. And they made the houses so they looked like they fit in, but they weren't here. Very strange fact. Okay, so let's walk back to what Roosevelt Triangle is. And it's still a neighborhood right at the cusp of Oakdale going to Elmwood. And nowadays, it's dominated right in this area by Interstate 91 coming from the side. You can see it up on the hill over there. Okay, so that's Roosevelt Triangle and a little peculiar history behind it. And you can see a lot of nice Victorian homes around this area. A lot of them are very big. So thank you very much for coming along.